This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Family seek justice for woman dead. Basil Jr. on mine. And telecommunication equipment confiscated. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. Following up on late Linda Kaipu's death, the contracted security company of the deceased employer have terminated their agreement to assist in the funeral expense. This was revealed by late Linda Kaipu's relative in an interview with this newsroom this afternoon.
The family of late Linda met with their employer, Hotel Odava, last week, Wednesday. However, their efforts in reaching out to the G4S Secure Solutions Limited, the contracted security company of Hotel Odava, were unsuccessful. The deceased was willfully murdered by an employee of G4S.
Whatever the circumstances was, but the end result, kill him while he was still employed by G4S. Now, as a responsible party, at least you come na luksal mipla got house crime mipla sit down staff on time of family. You know house crime mipla asking them. House crime will come up suddenly because of workman mipla. Now as understanding firm organization, big organization, got luksal or house crime come na strategy mipla talk one and something by me make one time as mipla peaceful loving people where mipla like understand you understand mipla na we carry on our main asking them you may put him to sleep area. So helping me plan expenses flow strike, helping me plan autopsies and need him. Now you may put him to rest and then we'll talk about everything else later.
Failing to meet with the family of the deceased, the security company through a letter notified the family that they will not assist them in the funeral expenses they have initially agreed to.
People read him letter, me plan no maslo letter. Me no lawyer, but lo understanding lo me how me look him this letter come lo me plan mo some and talk was again because lo passing where late sister lo me make him na the situation and that's all cause him died lo name. So in other words talk was all the responsible lo died lo sister lo me which me look him me bell heavily click. So what we are doing now as a family and me lose him G4S now but you make him talk. How by the circumstances we follow and by me not talk about this we play by deal on time immediate company where employ late system which is Odava. Now Odava deals with G4S because Odava contracting G4S and staff law and law Odava.
This untimely and tragic death has taken away a mother and wife from a small family. Family is willing to take necessary actions to seek justice for late Linda.
Man lo late Linda and Siran staff. So just so you may probably what come up. These are the children. And to be baby, I'm all baby. Which also depend on mama blon all na staff. I'm losing all na staff, yeah. Like this is sad. You may sorry all na you staff. I'm all by staff for how much layers of I grow up, yeah. I'm all by grow up without Mama Blono.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Member for Bulolo District, Sam Basil Jr. reaffirms Bulolo District's defense on the Wafi Golpu mining project and Hidden Valley mining.
Under the special service.
Concerned Basil says socio-economic and political indicators show underdevelopment and regression in goldfields of Wawaria and Bulolo districts. He said by learning from the Hidden Valley mining MOA that specifically mentions the maintenance of Bulolo, Waumenyamia Highway, and so many infrastructure and socio-economic projects that are hardly been funded out of the national budget. The Bulolo DDA in the past and now is very protective on the Wafi Golpu mining project. He said as for Wafi-Golpu mine, all reserves can take the mine to 100 years, and a signing of an MOU cannot just take place just for short-term gains that concern 2 or 3 generations. He said, on 12 March 2024, I wrote to Minister for Mining reaffirming communication to the Prime Minister and my concerns as per questions in Parliament on both Hidden Valley Mine and the proposed Wafi-Golpu mine.
The Bulolo district has no representation in the Future Benefits Funds, no input in deciding projects under the Special Service Grants or SSG, including the maintenance and upgrade of the Wa-Bulolo Highway. Has the Minister conducted any review and assessment on the various provisions in the MOA with a view to improving the benefits to the people and the state of Papua New Guinea?
Mining Minister at the time, Muguadilu, responded to this.
I'll consult with MRA, including benefits sharing between districts within the alluvial, within Wa-Bulolo, Wa-Waria, and other districts in surrounding in the project areas. We'll consult with MRA, and then I'll provide a brief, detailed response to your series of questions.
Basil claims the Marape Rosso government is repeating the mistake of spending 100 million kina infrastructure grants related to Wafi-Golpu project in 2023 and again in 2024. That has no consideration for the district administration and the Bulolo DDA that has oversight of service delivery in the project areas and impacted LLG and district. An advocate for sorcery accusation-related violence in Port Moresby shares her aspiration to build a permanent safe house for survivors of such cases who sought her assistance.
As a brave advocate on sorcery accusation-related violence for 23 years now, Josephine Durwa now runs a safe house in Port Moresby. She expressed her drive for advocating in such.
2000 straight me start creating center, but me looking violence been so long black time. Even though me looking violence, that's all me galo must be to me looking. Life lo me all cooking all man, na all married, all party all families na me myself na. Me looking was no me no need to sit down and wait now. Looking this line something come up. So this line causing me lo me start creating shelter online camp.
Josephine, who had done awareness on South Ngoroka, Simbo, Medang and Port Moresby, shared on how different a South safe house is to a gender-based violence safe house.
60 plus family number all come house. Inside all this period me stop. Na me system all court na sla. Na now me sabo sem plenty kind cases is stop. Sometimes all come want families to related violence house. I'm including family. Time all accusing mama and papa na. All accusing papa and papa na family na. All come and them all big la pigini na. Lig na. All family thing in life now come so me look at him also. Socially related safe house is different from GBV.
A challenge for her work now is providing enough space for those who seek refuge in her confines. Acknowledging the help of City Pharmacy Limited, Josephine shared she now aspires to build a permanent South safe house.
People are making this like I need no good plan now, like putting permanent safe house na. No a title. So all our system in a people finding ground equal city all na lands na all helping me to communicate me to making no site, but me plan achieving one plan yet.
Apart from City Pharmacy Limited, her safe house receives support from Family PNG, Hotline and Child Fund from time to time. Natasha Voy, National, EMTV News.
Telecommunications equipment belonging to Starlink has been recently confiscated by NICTA. National Gold PNG Limited Managing Director Lubo Todorov told the media that the receivers they brought in was cleared by customs but was confiscated by NICTA.
Starlink, a satellite and telecommunication company, were granted a 5-year operator license by Papua New Guinea's National Information and Communication Technology Authority earlier this year, after 5 days since their receivers were confiscated by NICTA. No one from the department has called them back. Managing Director of National Gold PNG, who took in the equipment, addressed this to the media today.
NICTA, they are stating that the receivers are not approved by them, and the minister should not have put that information in. But it's terribly wrong, because we follow the information, we follow that everything is available, that all has been approved on the 24th of January.
He said NICTA told them that the receivers were not approved by them.
Except this, what they were declared, officially declared, they were not trying to be smuggled in the country. So the units were declared. And this is the receipt given for the units. I went on the 10th, I went and met with the guy from that organization, and he said, yes, the minister should have not given that information.
Mr. Todorov asked why Starlink's license were not recognized by NICTA.
The NICTA, okay, that's the organization what claims that they have not approved this system to operate in Papua New Guinea, contradicting all the information on internet, contradicting the minister what state that is approved.
He stated that the units were declared by customs.
5 days I've been in Port Moresby. We went and visit this national office and spoke to Gabriel Nakao, and he is the enforcement and compliance, and he's stating that these units are illegal, that NICTA has not approved them to be in the country.
He said the officer who got the receivers told them that the item they were bringing in was not approved by the Minister for Information and Communication Technology, Timothy Masiu.
I went and saw him. I said, okay, what's next? He said, well, we haven't approved it. So if we haven't approved it, these units are illegal to be operated in the country, contradicting everything what we've been talking about and what you're seeing on the internet. He said the minister should have not approved it without our consent. So from my point of view, who is working for who? What is the minister? Is the boss of this department or not? Why it's happening?
Comments from the minister and NICTA will be taken tomorrow. James Guken, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Start your day the smart way with the new Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits. Whether you are busy or on a budget, Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits gives you a healthy and affordable breakfast to set you up for school or play. Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits are fortified with essential vitamins for body or brain health. They contain vitamin A for healthy growth and development, vitamin B6 for healthy metabolism, immune system and brain development, and vitamin B12 for nerve and cell health. Proudly made by Paradise Foods.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guide. True Guide, true inspiration through generations.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Morning Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Building something new. See a different point of view. journalism worry belong you.
The IPI Group is PNG's most innovative, dynamic and diverse logistics company, totally focused on delivering outstanding service. Our diversified divisions span from major warehousing, bulk fuel and road transport to large-scale commercial catering. The IPI Group of companies will be your partner, supplying tailor-made logistics solutions.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections, and business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
EMTV presents Vocal Fusion Season 11 2024. Final Cut 1 airs tonight at 7:30. Stay tuned to your number one to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. Kujip Nazarene Hospital now has 174 of its health workers active on the ALISCO payroll system. Executive Officer for Juaka Provincial Health Authority, Mr. Thaddeus Turi, said churches are significant development partners to the government in education and health services. Mr. Turi said Kujip Nazarene Hospital, as a church-run hospital, is recognized as a provincial hospital, serving Juaka since 25th of March 2018, when Juaka became a new province. He said this during the launching of the ALISCO payroll system at the hospital this week. Kujip Nazarene Hospital Chief Executive Officer Joseph Sika said Juaka serves 750 to 850 patients on a daily basis, and most of them are taken care of by churches and non-government organization development partners overseas. Mr. Sika said the hospital has a total of 265 health workers. The remaining beds from these considered on payroll will also be considered after they meet the requirements. North Wagi District Development Authority recently partnered the Catholic Church to develop Bandstown in Juaka Province.
This is done through a memorandum of understanding signed by the two parties. The MOU enables Barnes Catholic Church to release a land of 60 square meters to the North Wagi DDA to develop. North Wagi MP Benjamin Moole said Juaka's population is growing and so is the interest in doing business. He said this development will attract potential investors into the province. Mr. Moole added that once work is done on this portion of land, the DDA will then give it back to the Catholic Church to manage. Barnes is noted to being the most populated town in Juaka Province. Natasha Voy, National, EMTV News.
About 60 students from POM School of Excellence and Badihagwa Technical Secondary School have received their certificates readiness skills. This will provide an easy transition from school to employment.
The project walk has been operating since the end of 2022. Over 1,500 students have participated since.
So today's program is focused on current grade 12 students to help them in that transition from education through to the workforce. But we do also offer open programs for former grade 12 students who can apply to participate in the program. So we have two open programs that will be running later this year, and we have one more program that we're running for school participants, and that will be 6 programs that we run for school participants this year.
The 60 students that have graduated today shared their views on the training they have received from the project walk.
I think that it's quite useful because if we look at today's current situation, the unemployment rates are quite scary, terrifying. So this initiative, this incentive gives students some confidence, some knowledge of how to address, how to avoid being in the loop of unemployment and find better jobs for them. Yes.
Looking for jobs, those are the things that it's needed by everyone. So I think it's necessary, and it's necessary for everyone to learn those things and prepare themselves in the future in case of looking for job. Thank you.
Some of us, we have grade 12 certificates, but we don't know how to go about to use our certificates, to use our achievements, to go out there and get the job that we need to sustain our families. And this is a very good initiative that Credit Corp has taken to empower our youth.
Project Walk is an initiative by Credit Corporation that equips young people with necessary skills for employment in the future.
So Credit Corporation offers work experience programs for the graduates from the Project Walk program, and we have now 16 of the participants from the program and also from work experience program who have been offered and accepted permanent full-time positions with Credit Corporation and are now working in roles across their business.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Today marks the last day of goodbye sales by TST Supermarket Boroku branch. The supermarket will close its doors after today's sales.
After serving for over 45 years, the family business shut its doors today. TST, a fourth-generation business within the Asian business community with one of the largest retail shops in Port Moresby. Since 2021, TST has been struggling due to foreign exchange issues to stay afloat. Customers were seen buying items that was on the shelves going for 75% off. TST promises to pay all outstanding payments owed.
As stated, today is the last day of the 75% off goodbye sales here at TST Supermarket. It will be handed over to Eliseo in the coming days. James Guken, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guide. True Guide, true inspiration through generations.
Mamas want them Telecom's Good Mobile Data Plans. With 8 exclusive mobile data plans to choose from, select a plan that best suits your budget. You can purchase a plan for as low as 3 kina for 1 gigabyte of data valid for 24 hours. Or receive 130 gigabytes of data valid for 30 days for only 150 kina. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime. Terms and conditions apply.
Power Energy Drink. Feel the power.
You're watching National EMTV News. Now moving to overseas news. A shooting at former U.S. President Donald Trump's rally at Butler, Pennsylvania, is being investigated as an attempt assassination.
No, look, as we were speaking earlier, I think was when we were first moved out of this park. Again, that is not unusual for this public space to be cordoned off. It's usually when the president is travelling in and out of the White House or when he has foreign leaders over, for example. But it did feel as though that this was in the immediate aftermath of this incident at Donald Trump's rally taking place. They still have not opened it up. As you can see behind us, it is still locked off. And we have heard from the New York City mayor that precautions are being taken there, particularly around Trump Tower. Donald Trump doesn't live in New York anymore, but of course it is where he spent so much of his life and really made his name. He now lives in Florida. The Trump Tower in Manhattan is such a well-known, such an iconic venue that the mayor said there that extra precautions were being taken as a matter of course.
Michael, we've been hearing from some people who were at the rally at the time. There are about 50,000 people at the rally, and we've been hearing their accounts of what happened. But I understand that you've been speaking to people as well.
Yes, here at the White House, people have flocked here over the course of the afternoon, and the universal response when I asked the Americans gathered here was shock, absolute shock that this has happened. People of all ages, as you'll see, from all backgrounds and also from all political persuasions. Let's hear now from some of those Americans here at the White House roughly about an hour or so ago.
In my life, I haven't seen an attempt on the president be made other than George Bush getting the shoe thrown at him, but I don't think there's many Americans who in our lifetimes have seen this kind of thing happen.
I think it's really inappropriate. No matter where you stand politically, you just have to respect whoever's running and whoever's the president.
Donald Trump is a fighter. You can see that with his fists up, and he's a true hero.
Police in the Philippines have moved to reassure locals and tourists that their community is safe after a triple murder involving an Australian couple.
Well, this is exactly why Australian David Fisk, his partner Lucida Cortez and her daughter-in-law Mary Jane Cortez had come here for spectacular views like this of the volcano and the lake that brings so many tourists here to Tagaytay. But no one could have predicted that in such a beautiful place they would become victims of an absolutely gruesome crime. Now, police have set up a special investigative task force, but they're mainly focused on one person of interest in particular, and that's the man who was spotted in CCTV footage coming out of their hotel room just hours before their bodies were found, bound, gagged and lifeless. Now, police say they're yet to identify who that man is, and it's unclear whether or not he knew any of the victims. It's also not clear what his possible motive could have been. They haven't ruled out the possibility that this may have been a robbery, despite the fact that many of the valuables, including cash, wallets, phones and jewellery, were still in the hotel room. Are you confident you'll be able to solve this case quickly?
We are praying. We are doing all our best to resolve this crime.
Authorities are also trying to reassure the community here, both locals and tourists, not to be too concerned, despite the fact that this killer is still on the loose. They say that this is a relatively peaceful place and that what happened here is just a horrible, isolated incident. Police say they are now working with Australian authorities and their Australian counterparts to try to solve this case as quickly as possible and find and arrest the killer.
India's Prime Minister met with the Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow on his first trip to Russia since the invasion of Ukraine.
Longtime allies at home in Vladimir Putin's presidential residence, as put by India's Prime Minister, cementing the bonds of friendship.
In this homely ambience, we can calmly discuss probably the same questions, but unofficially.
It's a great pleasure to visit a friend at his home.
It's a friendship that has the United States concerned.
We made quite clear directly with India our concerns about their relationship with Russia, and so we would hope India and any other country, when they engage with Russia, would make clear that Russia should respect the UN Charter, should respect Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
I'm happy that India and Russia are working shoulder to shoulder to provide new energy to global prosperity.
The red carpet was rolled out for this visit, the Indian Prime Minister's first since Moscow sent its troops to Ukraine. The invasion has complicated the relationship, pushing Russia closer to India's rival China. Prime Minister Modi so far avoiding condemning the operation, instead calling for negotiations to end fighting.
When Indians hear the word Russia, the first words that come to their minds are India's companion in happiness and in sorrow.
Indian officials say the priority this trip is fixing the trade imbalance and securing the discharge of Indian citizens who it says were misled into fighting in the Ukraine war.
Defense cooperation will clearly be a priority area. 60% of India's in-service military platforms are still of Russian origin. We've seen some deliveries in the delay of some spare parts and platforms following the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
The Prime Minister's trip may help boost Putin's clout. He has reduced travel from Russia since the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant. But in June, he did visit North Korea. There, the leaders pledged closer military cooperation, and now a North Korean training delegation is on its way to Russia, another relationship the West is watching with interest.
The Australian Defence Forces vetting process has been called into question amid investigations into a Russian-born Australian couple charged with spying offences.
I'm at the apartment complex in Everton Park in Brisbane, where Kira Korolev and her husband Igor Korolev were living. They were arrested here on Thursday after a major investigation by federal police and ASIO. Now, 40-year-old Kira Korolev is an ADF Army private. Her 62-year-old husband Igor is a labourer. The pair is accused of obtaining Australian Defence Force material to share with Russian authorities. Whether Kremlin officials actually received any material, any information is still under investigation and yet to be determined. Authorities do allege Ms. Korolev took undeclared trips to Russia, some alone, some with her husband. Authorities do allege on the trips that she went alone, Ms. Korolev instructed her husband on how to access her official work account, guiding him to then access specific information to send to her via a private email. So the pair has been charged with espionage offences. They're actually the first people to be charged with such an offence since it was introduced in 2018. The couple was remanded in custody in the Brisbane Magistrates Court yesterday after a brief hearing. Now in the fallout, attention has now turned to the vetting process Ms. Korolev went through to gain security clearance with the ADF. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he has faith in Australia's national security. But overnight, also, the Russian embassy accused Australia of spreading anti-Russian paranoia. It's also seeking a written explanation of what happened. Now, the Prime Minister has reacted quite strongly to this. Let's take a listen to what he had to say about it at a press conference in Brisbane a little earlier.
Russia can get the message back off. Russia engages in espionage here and around the world. Russia has no credibility, and the message to Russia is, how about you get out of Ukraine and stop the illegal and immoral war that you're engaged in, and how about you try to stop interfering in domestic affairs of other sovereign nations. This is a country that has no respect for international law, and they should be regarded with contempt, which is what I have for them.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Use PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections, and business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Hi, with the help of Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner, with these 3 quick and easy tips, I'm going to show you that more natural, beautiful hair is achievable. Step 1, massage your scalp during washing with shampoo. Step 2, apply conditioner to the tips of your hair. Step 3, gently towel dry your hair. There you have it. For natural, beautiful hair, use Palmolive Naturals shampoo and conditioner. Have a great hair day.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Top up now with Telecom's Good to More bundles. Subscribe to any of Telecom's More bundle plans, ranging from 3 kina to 75 kina to enjoy unlimited on-net calls, more SMS, more data with increased off-net minutes. Choose from 8 exclusive plans, packed with more value to experience seamless communication with your family and friends. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime. Terms and conditions apply.
EMTV's Vocal Fusion Season 11 goes full throttle with its final cuts one. Join us tonight at 7:30 to see who makes it through to the next round. Only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Join us for another episode of A Closer Look. This week we'll delve into the grace period ends for Bushwara settlers, an insight on PNG's foreign exchange shortage, and an update on the national census. A closer look, 7 p.m. tonight on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Morobe Rugby Union's Game 7 saw the end of Round 1 yesterday at the Scrum Oval at Igam Barracks.
In the men's Premier Division, the Harlequins finished with a 14-0 win over the Unitec Reds. City Lights drew a close 8-6 win over the Defence, while the Pirates claimed an easy 18-0 win over the Butiba Mentees. The round ended with the Royals beating the Vikings with an 18-5 points win. In the women's division, Pirates defeated the Defence with a 5-0 win, while the Harlequins proved unstoppable with a 42-0 victory over the Reals. Meanwhile, President of the Morobe Rugby Union, Mr. Lionel Kamiak, shared the progression of the competition so far and called on interested sponsors to assist in sponsoring local clubs. The top 3 teams currently on the ladder are the Pirates, followed by the Harlequins and Royals. Round 2 is set to begin next week with the matchup of the game to follow. Jessica Nui, Trukai Sports, Lay.
Port Moresby Soccer Association held its Round 2 Week 10 games this weekend at the Bissini Soccer Field in Port Moresby. Here's reporter Claire Malta with more.
Speaking to the games coordinator, Peter Matthew, he gave an update of today's games.
This weekend is the beginning of round 2 games for the 3 top divisions, Premier Division, First Division and the Women's Division, plus the Division 2. While for the 3rd Division, at the background you can see the current game going on. It's a 3rd Division game, which is the last week 13 game for round 1. By next weekend, this Division 3 will progress into round 2.
Mr. Matthews said yesterday games were tough.
But 2 games been played. PS Roadstaff against Momase, which the game ended in a 1-1 draw. Also, the two top team in our Premier Division competition, University and Munkas, were the last main game yesterday afternoon, which both teams also drew 0-0.
The Soccer Association Premier matches, top teams have proven to have their A game on point.
Competition is getting even tougher for teams who are up there to maintain. The teams below them are also making their way up to cause upsets.
Mr. Matthew then gave an update of the soccer tournament rounds.
We have 8 more weeks before our finals.
Claire Mauta, Trukai Sports.
The Port Moresby Morning Plus AFL Premiership, after finishing its women's matches last week, held their round 2 game 13 matches today.
The league president, Douglas Lai, gave an update of the matches.
This is the 13th game of the round 2. We had two rounds for the season. First round, and this is the second round, and 13th game for the season for the men's comp.
Mr. Lai said the main match for today will be between the Kobonis and Geruhu Magpies.
Geruhu Magpies is running 3rd on the ladder, and Kobonis running 5th, so it's a match between the 3rd and the 5th place.
Earlier in the day, Bomana Cats took on the Alavana Swans.
The Alavana Swans and the Bomana Cats was won by the Bomana Cats.
The president gave a rundown of the matches leading up to the finals.
One more game next week before the finals start. So next week will be game 14, and then we go into 3 or 4 weekends of finals playoffs, and then we'll go into the grand final for the men's.
Claire Mauta, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
It's the simple things that make life more meaningful and memorable. To rejuvenate in a perfect setting and enjoy every moment. It's of your time. Enjoying great taste, to relax and unwind. Shady Rest Hotel, a great place to stay in paradise.
At Telecom, we're boosting our network. Households will enjoy better connections. Communities will get faster speeds and wider coverage. And business will profit from new towers and a more secure network. Plus, everyone will benefit from onshore storage that brings browsing home. It's all part of our ongoing billion-kina nationwide investment. It feels good to be building a faster, stronger network for PNG.
Most Pacific Island countries, the impact of the ocean is from the North Pole and South Pole.
Join us Monday night at 7 as we discuss the potential of the blue economy in Papua New Guinea.
When people were talking about this in terms of resourcing, a lot of them talked about your land, your agriculture, your mining. Sooner or later, the people start seeing that the resources, especially in the ocean.
That's on Monday night.
Join us for another episode of A Closer Look. This week we'll delve into the grace period ends for Bushwara settlers, an insight on PNG's foreign exchange shortage, and an update on the national census. A Closer Look, 7 p.m. tonight on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching True Guy Sports. Capital Rugby Union held its round 12 premier matches this weekend at the Bissini Union Field.
The Capital Union Games coordinator, Petero Kilori, said they're in round 12 of the competition. Mr. Kilori shared what teams were up against each other today.
Crusaders and Wanderers and Jagan University playing today.
The Games coordinator said the union's competition finals will be held in August to early September. Claire Mauta, True Guy Sports.
Moving to overseas sports, Geelong has jumped to third place in the AFL ladder with a 20-point victory against Collingwood at the MCG.
The Cats got off to a fast start, kicking the first 3 goals, but led by just 4 points at half-time. Jeremy Cameron booted 3 majors to the Cats, who won 13 goals at 13.91 to 10.11.71. It's a third straight loss for the defending premiers, with the Magpies languishing in 10th spot. Collingwood star Nick Dacos finished with 32 disposals despite a hamstring concern.
A Belgian cyclist has won the Tour de France after a chaotic finish involving several riders close to the finishing line.
Several riders fell in a crash a few hundred metres from the line at the end of the 165-kilometre stage to Pau. Two-time champion Tadej Pogačar managed to avoid the chaos to finish the stage in 9th. Pogačar still holds the yellow jersey with a lead of 1 minute and 6 seconds over the rest of the field.
Australian runner Jess Holt has set a new world record in the women's 2,000 metres at the Diamond League meet in Monaco.
The 27-year-old clocked a time of 5 minutes and 19.7 seconds, beating the previous record by 6.86 seconds. Holt's first Diamond League victory comes days after she shaved more than 5 seconds off her personal best in the 1,500 metres to finish second at the meet in Paris. The Paris Olympics track and field program commences on August the 1st.
It was in the moment, like listening to the crowd and just taking all of that in, because yeah, I've been in these races for a really long time, but I've never kind of been one that was trying to do something, and tonight I embraced that to the maximum, and I'm really proud.
And that ends True Guy Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
True Guy Sports. True Guy Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Be on board this revolution. Introducing our new range of devices and giveaway frenzy. Buy a device and get a free boombox and enjoy 7 days of free streaming to MGEMs. But that's not all. You will also receive 5 gigabytes every month for the next 6 months. That's a whopping 30 gigabytes of data. Don't miss this extraordinary opportunity. Head to your nearest telecom retail outlet to grab one today. Terms and conditions apply.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped With state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
EMTV presents Vocal Fusion Season 11 2024. Final Cut 1 airs tonight at 7:30. Stay tuned to your number one to watch, EMTV.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Now we take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City, mostly fine to partly cloudy. Barrow, mostly fine with patchy clouds. Karama, partly cloudy. Alatal, mostly fine, partly cloudy. Popondetta, cloudy periods with chances of a brief afternoon shower. In the Momasa region, Lay City, partly cloudy with chances of brief afternoon showers. Madang, cloudy periods with chances of a brief afternoon shower. Wewak, cloudy periods with possible few showers and thunderstorms. Vanimo, partly cloudy with chances of a brief afternoon shower. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kaveng, partly cloudy to mostly fine with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo and Rabaul, mostly fine. Kimbe, partly cloudy. Buka, mostly cloudy with chances of a brief afternoon shower. In the Highlands region, Goroka, Bans and Kundiawa, cloudy periods with few afternoon rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. What is the southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru, to Kiwai Island, to Karama, to Yule Island, to Hood Point, to Samarai Island, sea is 0.5 to 1.0 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Island, sea is 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2.5 meters along warning areas. Waters of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finschhafen, sea is 0.5 to 1.0 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through VTS Strait to CRC Long Island, sea is 0.5 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2.5 meters along warning areas. Waters of Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, sea is 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.0 meters. Waters of New Ireland to East New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.0 meters. Waters of West New Britain, seas 1.5 to 2.0 meters, rising to 2.5 meters along warning areas. Pearl Sea seas smooth, southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Solomon Sea seas light to moderate, southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea seas light to moderate to rough at times. Southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots, increasing to 25 knots. Pacific Ocean seas smooth, variable winds of 5 to 10 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 14th of July, 2024. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Go.